Good evening and welcome to Business Plan Academy for Veterans and Entrepreneurs, Module 6. This is Session 1 Q&A, question and answer session. My name is Dr. Kene Wulu, as always, and I will be your guide and coach over this next 20 minutes or so. Normally, every week, at the beginning of each module, we hold a session on Tuesday to introduce our guidelines and what is expected of us as students to get our business plans in place. And then on Thursdays, we answer some of the questions that you might have had after my presentation today. And after you start doing some of your homework, and if you get any glitches, you're able to probably send us an email, as always, at support@kdeleadership.com. or type into the Facebook comments box, live comments box, and we'll get back to you. If we don't get back to you today or tomorrow, then of course we'll review and answer your questions on our Thursday meeting at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, just for 20 minutes. So without much ado, I'm going to start with sharing, first of all, what we're doing this week. All right, this week, as you see, we are looking at Module 6, and Module 6 is Business Plan Financials Part 1. Having said that, I want to open up and share with us what some of you have had access to. For those who are enrolled, you already have access to your documents. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you what that access is so that you can quickly join us and get to it. Okay, this is what you're going to be seeing as you sign into your Module 6 coursework. You already had access about 2 nights ago, 12 midnight Eastern on Sunday night. So, but this is what you're going to be seeing. We're looking at Module 6, and we're looking at 5-year financial plan Part 1. Now, what does this entail? This entails number one, components of your financials, okay? And number 2, the financials spreadsheet. Now, the components of your financials will, as a matter of course, entail your inventory, which is your product at hand, which is stuff you have, goods and services you have ready for sale, okay? For those of us who are producing like dressmakers and cake makers, and you have a physical product to sell, this is what you have in hand. Sales projections, your gross income expectations, you're looking at that, you're going to be compiling that together. Your marketing budget, how much money do you expect to spend on budget for a year or for the 5 years that we're making this plan off? We're going to be looking at that today. Your capital expenditure, which is your facilities, equipment, how much how much equipment are you going to be purchasing to enable you to get your business done, okay? Your staffing budget, salaries of employees, benefits, and what have you. Of course, of course, those who are professionals working for you, working on a consultant basis, that's professional services. Of course, they're going to be remunerated. So you also include that. Capital investments means amounts, loans, equity, money that you borrowed in order to get your business online, or money that you intend to borrow. These are all going to be in place. And of course, your income statement, which itemizes your revenue, your expenses, gains, and losses. Now, having said that, I'm going to go ahead and share with you what these will look like, okay? Because it's one thing to talk about them, it's another for you to have a visual. And as I said, you already have downloaded, you have access to these. What I'm showing you right now is what it looks like and how you're going to begin to fill out those forms. Now, that's something we're going to be handling in Module 7, how to actually fill them up. But I'm going to give you a preview today because I want you to get a head start, okay? Now, having said that, I'm going to be sharing with you what this looks like, okay? So I will start with the components of your financials spreadsheet, okay? This is what it is. As I said, the inventory is the value of the product you have at hand, stored and ready for sale. As you can see my screen here, your sales projections are your gross income expectations based on your inventory and past and current customer demand, okay? Those are your sales projections. You're telling people who want to give you money that over the next 1 year, you intend to sell $2 million of your product, okay? In 5 years, you intend to sell $20 million worth of your product. All right, those are your sales projections. Based off of those projections, you're not going to go backward and say, these are my expenses. That's where your marketing budget comes in, your capital expenditure comes in, your staffing budget comes in, your professional services come in, your capital investment come in, your income statement come in. For the sake of this presentation, I will not be looking at balance sheet because that's what professional tax accountants do for you at the end of a tax year. All right. Now, having also said that, let me shift this a little bit here so I can see a little bit. Having said that, I'm going to also share with you what each of these look like. You already have them. But for your inventory, this is what it will look like. As you see this screen right now, sharing the screen, this is the matrix that KD leadership has prepared. All right. This is your inventory details. And you can see here, we're starting from January 22. From this blue line to this blue line is 1 year. From 2022 to 2023, we have a quarterly planning of what we intend to have as our inventory. As you can see, we have first quarter, second, third, and fourth. The same as in 2003, 2004, 2024, 2025, okay? And all the way as you go forward, all to the end. And then you have your 5-year totals here. As you can see, we have 0 values here because we haven't put in the numbers. Now, as I tell you, these have been calibrated. Okay, formula have been embedded in them. They are ready to go. As you put in numbers here, they automatically add up and subtract and multiply and give you your numbers at the end of the year. Or for instance, if you're just doing for 1 year here, your totals are going to be along this blue column that says 2022. That's where your totals are going to be. So just having seen that, you see how much work that has gone in to make life easy for you. And I need you to understand that that's why you're in this program. So you can get your hands free on these financials templates and use them to provide what the bank and financial institutions and investors will require of you. They want to see in 1 sheet or 2 or 3 exactly what you're about. The same thing is repeated as we go to our marketing budget. I'm going to click at the bottom here at the marketing budget. And here you see your marketing budget, all the expenses you're going to be making. Professionals are going to be using print, TV, radio, maintenance of your site, hosting of your site, all the way again into 2022. And then as I slide to the right here, all the way for 5 years till you get to 2026, your 5-year total. That's it for your marketing budget. The same thing also goes for your sales projections. This is where you talk to people, you share with people exactly how much you intend to sell, how much of your product and service you intend to sell. And if you see on the left-hand side here, you're going to see the unit volumes, gross sales, net sales, cost of goods sold, all the way down there. And as I said, all these numbers have formula embedded in them. Once again, from this blue line to this blue line, that's 1 year. And then as we go into 2023, 2024, and 2025, we begin to make quarterly calculations, and it's all calculated for you. Just put in your numbers and they will calibrate, okay? It's just incredible what this spreadsheet will do. And then at the end of the year, of course, there it is. Okay, so you can see those first quarter, second quarter, all the way to fourth quarter in each of those years, except the first year where you have monthly calculations going. The same thing you have for staffing budget. In your staffing budget, you're looking at salaries of all your employees, benefits of all your employees, payroll taxes for all of them, and all the way down in categories. You have management, you have operations and production, you have your sales and marketing team, and other people. You just put in those ones. If you have tech people you want to put in, that's fine. And again, we're going all the way from this blue line to this blue line is the first year. And then as I slide to the right here, you see the calculations become quarterly all the way to the end of the year. So this again is your staffing budget. As I said, people who want to give you money, loan you money, want to know exactly what you want to do with the money over a 5-year period. This template does that for you. Now we're going to look at professional services. And this is where you talk about those that are working for you as consultants, your attorneys, your accountants, your management consultants, your industry specialists, tech consultants, and others. Whoever is in your industry, they will have a salary. They're on a retainer. Whatever it is you pay them, that's what you put in here all the way for 5 years. Again, the first 1 year handles month by month. And then as you move into next year, it handles full year totals, okay? because these people, you don't have to do this quarterly now. You're paying them per year. So you should be able to put in exactly how much it is they're earning per year, and you just put it in here, all the way to a 5-year total, all right? Now, having said that, I'm also going to show you the capital investment, okay? This is where you talk about your facilities, your equipment, your computer hardware and software, your telecoms, your land, your office, okay? Having put in all that, it shows you exactly when things were bought, how much they were bought for, the years of service, and the salvage value. I want to say something about salvage value. This is where we calculate the percentage depreciation. Because when you buy equipment, 2 years down the line, it's not worth what you bought it. It would have depreciated in value. So we put in all those calculations. So a couple of years down the line, you're able to tell your banks that, hey, look, we spent $1 million buying this equipment, but now it's worth 600,000. They will understand it. This is the software, this is the spreadsheet that does those calculations for you. Once again, as soon as you put in those numbers, it will calculate everything for you, all up to 5 years. So it's just incredible what this will do for you. Finally, we have the income statement. The income statement is a culmination, an aggregation, an addition of all these other inventory, marketing, sales, staffing, professional services, capital investment, all of them put together come as your income statement. As you can see on the left-hand side here, you're going to see all those expenses we talked about: maintenance, equipment, depreciation, utilities, travel, computers, all the way. You're going to see gross sales. That comes from your sales projections. You're going to see salaries and wages. That comes from your staffing budget. You're going to see payroll taxes, professional services. So everything that we've talked about at the very bottom here, showing you all these things, are added up in the income statement. And as you can see again, in the first 1 year, it gives you a monthly calculation of all those expenses. As you move on to the right, it begins to give you quarterly projections. Okay, the second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year gives you quarterly projections, and then you have your 5-year totals. Once again, as I was saying, all these are calculated. So as you put in a number, it adds up and calculates and gives you exactly what you're looking for. This is what your bank is looking for. This is what people who want to invest in your company are looking for. They want to have a view, a vista, 5 years down the line, exactly where you intend to be, how you intend to get there, what your expenses will be, what your sales projections will be, and what's in it for them. And having said that, what's in it for them, I'm going to share with you the next software, the next spreadsheet that we have here, okay? And I'm not only going to share that, I'm going to demonstrate to you how it works, all right? So I'm going to just click on that stop share there and go back and share that second spreadsheet with you. And that is this. All right. This is what we've called the KDEL funding proposal matrix. It's a template. You already have it on your platform, Module 6 platform tab. Just go there and download it, and you can use it. A word of warning or caution: before you use it, save it as, meaning save a copy and begin to work off the copy. Save the original so you can own it for life, because it belongs to you for life. You've paid for it. All right? This way, you can always do new proposals every year. Every time you're going to meet some funding partners or people want to invest in your company, you're able to put together something you want them to see. All right? Now, having said that, I want to share with you exactly how this works. I want to demonstrate it for you. All right? Because this is really mind-blowing. All right? And I need you to pay very careful attention. You have access to it. As I said, if you look here right now, I know it just looks mind-blowing for now, but I've color-coded it so it's very easy for you, okay? Now, when you're going to borrow money from a bank, you want to ask them for a 1-year interest-free period, not interest-free period, payback-free period, meaning for 1 year after you raise the money from them, you're not paying them back anything. You want that to be able to invest all that money into your business, and guess what? Make some money. But by the very next year, by the beginning of the very next year, you start paying back. So what I've calculated here is I have intervals. I've done this calculation over a 5-year period, okay? If you look here right now on payment number 1, you see that we're using the date 15th of March, 2021. This is just for presentation's sake, okay? 2021. You're not paying anything back, okay? Look at that scheduled payment. You're not paying anything back until 15th of March, 2022. So you're asking for 1 year before you make payments. Even though that first payment you make in the second year will now be, guess what, a whole year's pay, because you haven't paid for a whole year, 12 months. You're going to calculate your interest for 12 months and pay it in that second time. So having said that, that's the 2 yellow lines you see here. Okay, now, immediately after that, you begin to pay back on a quarterly basis. So if you can see here on this third line here, the green color code shows you this is four payments, 3 months each. So this is a whole year's payment, but quarterly. So each of these green lines is a quarterly payment, all right? The next color code here, yellow, is another 1 year quarterly payments. The next one, green, is 1 year quarterly payments. But guess what happens in the 5th year? In the final year, you begin to pay them back on a monthly basis. That's why I've color coded this blue. So you're paying back on a monthly basis all the way till the end of the year. Now that I've shown you how this works, I'm going to do a quick demo for you. For instance, let's just say that I'm asking for $500,000. I'm going to use the dollar currency. For those of you in Europe, you can use the euro or the German mark, the Nigerian naira, the Ghanaian cedi, whatever it is, the krone, whatever, the French francs, whatever it is that works for you, go ahead and use that. But the loan amount I want to put in here is 500,000. So if I put in 500,000 at 5% annual interest, see what happens here. Okay, suddenly it populates. Let me go back again here and clear that content. When I clear that content, guess what happens? We have zeros everywhere here. Nothing shows, okay? Until I go back here and type in 500,000. And immediately I do that, guess what? My beginning balance is 500,000, okay? All right, and this is what it shows me. So remember, first year, I'm asking that we pay nothing so that we have enough money to get our business up and running. But by the second year, guess what? In that first year at 5%, we've accrued interest of $25,000. So our ending balance at the end of the year is $525. Let's say for argument's sake, I want to pay $48,000 here, okay? In the second year. Once I do that, it calculates I paid for the 8,000, it does the math for me. Now, from the quarterly payments, now remember, quarterly payments is 1/4 of what you pay annually. So let's just say that instead of paying for 1 whole year here, I paid about $4,000. I'm going to increase my quarterly, 4,000 times 3 gives me $12,000. So I'm going to say, for instance, let's just say we're going to be paying $20,000 a month, okay? Once we do that for the next 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Do you see how it updates? As soon as I do that, it updates. It's automatically set so that you know exactly, it calculates for you exactly how much you're going to be paying back every year. Now, once we've done that for 2 years, maybe in the third year, I want to pay a little bit more. I've been in business now for 2 years. I'm making more money. Things are working better. So the bank expects that I can't be paying $20,000 every 3 months. Okay, so let's say for argument's sake, I'm increasing that to $30,000, all right, each. If I'm doing that, $30,000 each, guess what? Each time I put it in, it recalculates for me, all right? And then of course, in the 4th year, I'm going to be, for instance, put in $35,000 per quarter. Remember, this is per quarter. This is per quarter. All right, now having done that, see what has happened right now. In fact, from the $525,000, now that I've paid for 3 years, guess what my balance is? $194. You see how that works? Okay, so now by the 5th year, I'm now going to be paying on a monthly basis. I've got 1 more year to pay back. I'm paying on a monthly basis. So let's say I tied it back a little bit to 20,000, okay, per month. Okay, 20,000 per month. This is just a demo, okay? 20,000 per month. Having done that, I'm going to be tapering it down. Remember, you want to owe less as you get towards the end. You don't want to hang on to their money. It's burning up interest for you, and then you don't want to be owing so much towards the end. So towards the end right now, I'm now tapering it down. As you can see, I'm only owing 117,000 from the 500,000 I started with 3 years ago. So let's say monthly now, I'm going to taper that down to 17,000, okay, for the next 17,000 for the next 2 months. And then I'm going to taper it down to, for instance, 15,000. Again, 15,000, maybe another 15,000. And as we get towards the end of it all, guess what? It is, if you look here now, for instance, you're going to see that I'm only owing 24,000 here. So I do another 15,000 at the second to the last month. And guess what? Guess what I'm owing now? $9,935.43. So my scheduled payment for this last payment will now be that same figure, $9,935.43. And guess what? My balance becomes zero here. If you look down here right now, you see that my balance has become zero here, okay? Over exactly 5 years, I have paid it back. And guess what? I've done this demo for you in 5 minutes. That means you're able to prepare your payback schedule for your bank in 5 years when you're armed with this. For those of us that are watching us on Facebook, I want you to send an email to support@kdeleadership.com and request for this funding proposal matrix template. The team will send you a link for that, okay? They'll send you a link for that. It's just $10. We're making it available for people so that you can get this and own it for life. And you use it, remember to save as, and then you use it to get your work done. This is what I'm showing you today, all right? I know that you have questions to look at, but and I know that this also can be a bit much as we begin to look at what we need to do. But I just wanted to show you how much value we have here to share with you. Now, having said that, I'm going to stop this sharing and go back to our website, okay? Just to show you what else we're going to be doing. So what I've shown you today is this. We have shared Module 6, 5-year financial plan, components of your financials, and this financial spreadsheet, how it works. Next week in Module 7, we'll be looking at part 2 of your financial plan, where I'm actually going to go into, just the same way I went into this payback template, I'm going to go into the income statement and the financials and show you how to fill them out, okay? I know we only have 20 minutes or so, but we'll do the best we can to guide you. So I need you to really buckle your belts. This is what you've been waiting for. And remember, by next week, I'm going to introduce you to some funding partners. There are funding partners who are standing by. In fact, they're standing by today, but I don't think you're ready. You need about a week to get all this done, who are waiting to partner with you to help you with your business, to show you where to get funds from, help you get those funds for them, and let you know what their percentages can be. They want to partner with you. It's your decision. My job is to connect you with them so that you can move on and be successful in your business. Now, having said that, as I said, I'm sharing this. I apologize for sharing that. Having said that, I want to get back to our discussion on what is expected next week, okay? Next week, I'll walk you through how to actually fill these forms. But I want you to go ahead and fill out these, download your forms, okay? Make sure you download them, fill them out. If you don't know how to download them, let me show you where you can download them from, okay? I apologize, I didn't show you that, but I'm going to show it to you right now. To download them, you go to Module 6, okay? For instance, you're looking at components, or let's say your financial spreadsheet, you click on that, it will open up this page for you where it tells you what to do. You go to where it says materials. You click on those materials, and this is where you can download all these templates from. I hope this helps you. I'm looking at our Q&A to see whether there are any questions. I don't see any questions in the chat box. So having said that, as I said, you need any questions, you have any questions, send us an email at support@kdeleadership.com. you want to get access to the template and you're not in this course already, but you want to get access to the template, that's where you send an email to. All right. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me today. And please be safe out there. Okay? Take care.